So you want your cake and you want the dough? What the heck is wrong with you, bro? Come on. You gonna do her like that? You gonna do it like that, boy? You was a damn shame. Samore Love Bugs, you have now tuned into my Catfish recap. Guys, be sure to subscribe if you have not yet done so. Also, be sure to share this video on Google Plus or Twitter or wherever you like to share videos. And don't forget to give it that good old thumbs up. Okay, guys, so Catfish is back. I didn't even know because today I went to go see Kevin Hart, the comedian. Yes, comedian slash actor. He's just freaking amazing. And I'm so happy that I was able to go. And yes, I was all alone doing my thing, honey. And I had a blast. And yeah, it was just amazing, an amazing experience. But then I came home and my sister was like, guess what, Catfish back. I'm like, Catfish? I didn't even know it was coming back. Girl, thank you so much for telling me because you know I gotta do this recap even though it's like 1 in the morning right now. So let's go ahead and talk about it. We have this girl named Tiana. She's 21. She's from Charlotte, North Carolina. And she's talking to this guy named James. She's known him since Myspace back 3 years ago. But I'm like, but hold on, Myspace 3 years ago? I wasn't on Myspace 3 years ago. Last time I was on Myspace was like 2009 or 10. So that's more like 5 years ago. Unless she was one of the people that was still on it when no one else was. Perhaps. So she says that she really likes this guy's personality and she's like in love with him. But to me it kind of seems like he's a ghost because she's never met him. It's been 3 years. How could you be in love with somebody and you've never actually met them? It just, I don't know, it's just so weird to me. I would have had to at least Skype you, talk to you somehow. I mean, now's the days where Instagram video and everything else is popping. You can even have video on Twitter. So I don't think there's no excuse that she's never actually seen him live. Like, come on, your camera's messed up. I don't care. Show me you on some freaking fluffy looking fuzzy fluffy looking screen. I don't care. As long as I can see a little bit of you, it's okay. I mean, look at the phone she was using. Did y'all notice the cracked screen though? Like, did y'all? Girl. So James, he even spoke to her like about marriage. She's had those types of conversation. But one bad thing about him is that he doesn't want any more kids, and she does have a daughter. And she actually moved from Washington DC back to North Carolina, and he was all excited about it. Like I said, talking about marriage and just being with her. And every time she or her and her friend went to go meet him, he pretty much swerved her. He was never there. Every time they go to the place, she make a reservation somewhere, he don't show up. I'd have been gave up. I don't got no time, no energy to be running after no man. Ain't no thing like that good that and she ain't even get it yet. So it's like, what the hell you running after the man for? Please. So when they video chat Tiana, she didn't even know who Nev and Max were. Like, she was totally oblivious. I mean, you guys know I just mess up Nev's accent. I be calling him Nev and all kind of foolishness. But at least I know which is which. I'm like, girl, what you doing? At least study the people before you go on their show and not even know who the people are. So, yeah, like I said, the guy pretty much stood her up several times. So that was messed up. She shows them a picture on her broken phone, and that's the guy that she wants to be with. But when she showed them the picture, they're kind of like, you know, the photo does look like a professional photo, which could be a bad thing because that could mean that he could have taken the photo from someone else's page who is a professional. And you know, they do the little searchy search, which anyone can pretty much do, because that's one of the things that I have to do in my job. Is it goes into doing stuff like that. I'm like, this is super easy. People are just super lazy, and I don't know. It's like, come on, the internet. I was gonna say the internet's free, but it's not really free unless you have like a connection like Optimum or something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about though. All you have to do is go to the library and search. Come on, people. This is what year? It's not MySpace days anymore. Anyways, so they do a little searchy search, and they come up with this guy who looks super creepy. He's like 50 years old. He could be somebody's grandfather, And they're like, that could possibly be the guy because he's self-employed. He had this little avatar that looked like a duck. So that could be possibly the person. So when she sees when they finally show her who they came up with, she's just like, oh my God, oh my God, this is super creepy. I do not, you know, she's just like hoping and praying that it's not that guy. They now meet up with Tiana, and that's when they showed her the picture and everything. And her friend Aisha came for moral support. They both have kids, and they met through Facebook. So it seems like all her friends kind of like are through the internet, because she says that a lot of her real friends that she had before, they kind of faded away, and they kind of threw her to the side pretty much because she has a certain type of attitude. She's probably one of those people that get mad quick. That's what she kind of seemed like to me, a little something. And like, she says certain things and expects you to not feel some type of way. Like she had thrown some shade there real quick. And I'm like, I kind of see why you don't have any friends. And then her friend is just the same as her. So I can understand why they're best friends. Because in the same light where she was talking a little bit after that, she started crying. And then her friend was like, don't start crying now. She was like, you've been letting this go on for 3 years. I'm like, dang, no sympathy. It's like she was on some man up, man up. That's pretty much what she was saying. Nev calls this guy named James, or whoever the heck he is, and he reveals that, well, it was Nev that was revealing that he knows that this guy is not the same guy from the photo. They want to meet up with him, and he's like, he didn't give much resistance. He said he would do it, and the next day, I think it was like the next day, they end up getting the address from him. They're like, all right, let's go now before he ends up changing his mind, especially since he's stood you up so many times. Aisha, she ends up coming for moral support because she's a good friend. She's been there from the beginning. She's been trying to talk her out of it a little something, but she's continued to do it because she feels like she's in love with this man and she wants to know who he is. So ain't no stopping her. So when they pulling up, Aisha's like, wait, hold on, this place look kind of familiar. Oh, you know what? This is Ricky G's shop. Yeah, he's my baby daddy's cousin. I think she said baby daddy's cousin is the owner of the shop, and he knows a rapper, something along those lines. I don't know. You know, my baby daddy, mother, father, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, you know, one of those types of things. So that's what it is. It's one of those types of relationships. Somebody connected to somebody that's her baby daddy. That's what it is. And when they pull up, the person didn't come out. So they open up the garage. Who's there? None other than the gal baby daddy standing right there. So looking like a deer in freaking headlights. Like, oh gosh, I got caught now. Yeah. You couldn't duck, man. You couldn't. You see me ducking? Yeah, he should have ducked. And it was just ridiculous. Aisha was so tight. Like, are you serious right now? She said that he's been pretty much bullying all of her exes, making her break up with them. And it seems like she's been stuck on him. They was possibly doing stuff. I wouldn't be surprised. And all this time, for 3 years, he's been talking to her best friend. That's crazy. He says that he was shocked, like, damn, why y'all bring my baby mama over here? Like, he was excited about that. He's like, I didn't want it to go this way. But he says that, quote unquote, he's really feeling this chick. He met her at a Halloween party. Mind you, the girl don't even remember him. So I guess he must not have made that much of a big impact on her. He said they weren't really formally introduced. Yeah, because Aisha was probably still feeling him at that time, so she didn't want to have all that connection. Oh, this is my baby daddy, because that's how things like this happen. And that's probably what she was trying to avoid. But unfortunately, he's a sleaze bucket, sleaze ball, and he's going to go and try to talk to a friend on the low, create all these fake profiles and all this, and be talking to her for 3 years. Like, seriously, dude, you couldn't find the time to tell her somewhere down the line? Mind you, this man has 8 children. Some of them are not his. He kind of just co-parents, or he kind of takes care of them. So at least that kind of makes him sound like he's a good person in that sense. But as far as relationship, nah, homie. Well, I don't know what you're doing, but nah, you're doing something wrong, because this is not a good look at all. Especially if, like I said, it seems like he was still dealing with Aisha, because she got all up in his face. Like, she was pissed to the max. And nobody who, even if, like, let's say my son's father, he's trying to talk to my best friend, I'm not gonna get that upset if we wasn't dealing or anything like that. Now we talking, or we got our little here, there, you know, friends with benefits types of thing going down, yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way, especially if I was with him or we was talking between that time period, those 3 years. Like, I'm over here consoling her, trying to help her to find this guy, this man that she's in love with, and that's the person that Aisha could be in love with as well. You know, somebody that I'm in love with as well, if you want to do it that way. So it just, I understand why Aisha got so upset and she was like blowing up on him. And he just looked like, he was just like, he had that face like, why everybody mad though? You know, what are those types of faces? Like, dude, are you serious right now? And then at the end of that, even though he saw how mad Aisha was, he still, when they put them together to have their little breakdown, their little conversation, he's still talking about he wanted to talk to her. And she seemed like she was kind of warming up to the fact. But then she was, in the end, she said that she didn't, because it just didn't feel right. At least you can tell that she has some morals, because that would have been completely awkward, completely wrong. Even though I can say that she said that her and Aisha kind of broke up their friendship because of this. And she said that Aisha got mad because this dude, I guess, was calling her or whatever, and she ended up showing her real colors. And you know, this girl got a bad attitude. So them two with two bad attitudes, that probably was a big fight. And they just stopped talking to each other because they both look like they have big egos, and no one wants to be the one to apologize. They look like they're both one and the same. And when you have those two types of relationships, it's gonna clash for the most part, and it's gonna take something big to get them to come back together. And with this dude, he didn't even answer for like updates or anything like that. What Aisha said happened was, she said that they broke up their friendship because Tiana kept on feeling like she was part of it, like she had something to do with it. I don't know. I feel like they're both putting their own truth into it, but I don't feel like they're both giving the real story. I feel like maybe it's a little bit of each of them. That's the reason why they actually had this big argument and actually broke up. Because I feel like Aisha, she was probably jealous of the whole thing. She probably said her feelings, said what was on her mind, and also because Tiana couldn't get over it. And the other way around with with Tiana, I feel like she probably just was like, yo, she was probably in on it or whatever, and maybe she even wanted to talk to this guy, but whatever. I just feel like at the end of the day, they shouldn't be fighting with each other. They should be looking at this dude, because he's the only one that knew everything out of all of them. He's the only one that knew everything that was going down. It was like, it was a joke, and he was the ringleader, you know? He was the puppet master. All of them were just part of his act. They was just puppets. So he's the one they should be looking at sideways at the end of the day. But let me know what you guys think down below. Are you happy that Catfish is back? I am excited. I'm looking forward to reviewing the rest of these episodes. I don't know how many they have left, because this is like the second half to this season that we've been watching before. I was wondering when the heck it was going to come back. I didn't know that it was like some type of season finale or season break or something like that. I didn't know it was going to be that many weeks. I thought it was going to be like 2 weeks and that was it. But thanks for watching. Be sure to stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.